Chapter 106, Leaving Some Things Behind. I'm not taking guilt with me. That heavy, crushing guilt that used to keep me awake at night, spinning my thoughts in circles. The kind that whispered maybe I couldn't done more and better, said the right thing, or prevented the worst from happening. I used to carry it everywhere like an invisible backpack filled with regrets, second guessing every word, every silence, every decision I made. But the truth is, guilt like that was never mine to begin with. It was handed to me by others who didn't want to own their actions, people who made me believe their choices were somehow my fault. That guilt served no purpose but to make me doubt myself and keep me stuck. It drained my joy, clouded my confidence, and weighed down my spirit. And I've decided I'm not carrying it anymore. I'm setting it down and walking away. That guilt belongs to the past, and that's exactly where I'm leaving it. I'm not taking the shame with me either. Shame was a way of creeping into your life without warning, soft at first like a whisper and then louder until it becomes the only voice you hear. The voice that told me I wasn't enough, that something was wrong with me, that I deserved the pain I felt. It told me to stay quiet, to hide my story, to prevent I was fine so no one would see the cracks. It told me I had to earn love, prove my worth, be perfect to be accepted. That shame made me feel like I had to apologize for just being me. It made me shrink in spaces where I should have stood tall, but I've learned now, shame is a liar. It feeds on silence and it loses its power when you speak the truth. So I'm shading that shame slowly, piece by piece, like layers of old skin I've outgrown. I'm learning to look at my scars without flinching, to tell my story without hiding the hard parts. I'm learning that I am not broken, and I don't need to be fixed. I'm allowed to show up exactly as I am. Bruises, heartaches, and all, and still be worth of love. And I'm not taking fake friendships with me either. You know the friendships that seem real at first, full of laughs, texts, shared memories. But when things got hard, when I truly needed someone, they vanished. Or worse, they stayed and caused more damage than comfort. The friends who only care when it was convenient. The ones who left me out, talked behind my back, or used my pain for gossip. The ones who said all the right things in public, but did nothing in private when I was falling apart. Those friendships weren't friendships. They were warnings, red flags I ignored for too long, but they taught me something valuable, what I don't want. They helped me recognize who truly deserves a seat at my table, and while I'm thankful for the lessons, I'm done dragging their memory with me. I'm letting go of the pain, the confusion, and the self blame they left behind. Letting go of these things, the guilt, the shame, the false connections, hasn't been easy. Healing never is. It means facing truths I didn't want to admit. It means acknowledging that some people hurt me more than they helped me. That I tolerated things I didn't deserve. That I stayed too long in spaces that weren't safe for my heart. It means grieving. Grieving the parts grieve of my past that should have been better. Grieving the love I gave that wasn't returned. Grieving the versions of me who didn't yet know what they were worth. But this is what healing looks like, not pretending the pain didn't happen, but choosing not to let it control me anymore. It's saying, yes, that hurt. Yes, I lost something, but I gained something too. I gained clarity, strength, and the courage to walk away. Letting go is an act of self respect. It's not bitterness. It's not revenge. It's saying, I deserve better, and I'm not afraid to make space for it. And now I feel lighter. Like I finally unpacked a suitcase full of stones and set it down. Like I can stand taller, breathe deeper, laugh a little louder. I'm not pretending everything's perfect, but I'm no longer letting the past define me. I'm no longer dragging things with me that don't belong in the future I'm building. Leaving these things behind doesn't mean forgetting, it means choosing peace. It means giving myself permission to move forward. It means saying, "Thank you for the lessons. I'm stronger now, but I'm done carrying you." So I'm walking forward, not with bitterness, but with hope, not with pain, but with purpose. I'm choosing to surround myself with people who love me for who I am, not who they expect me to be. I'm choosing peace over chaos, healing over pretending, growth over guilt. I'm stepping into a life that's finally mine, honest, peaceful, and free from everything that tried to break me. Chapter 107. What I'm taking with me. I've spent a long time thinking about what to leave behind, but now it's time to talk about what I'm taking with me. I'm taking strength, not just the kind that shows up when things are going well, but the quiet strength that got me out of bed when I didn't want to move. The strength that made me speak up when my voice shook. The strength that helped me keep going when the world around me felt like it was falling apart. I earned that strength. I didn't ask for the situations that made me grow it, but I'm proud of the person I became because of them. I'm taking honesty. I spent too long biting my tongue trying not to rock the boat, trying to be liked by people who didn't respect me, but now I choose honesty. I choose to speak the truth, my truth, even if my voice trembles, even if it makes people uncomfortable, because being honest with myself and with others is how I stay grounded. It's how I protect my peace. It's how I keep from becoming someone I'm not. I'm taking hope. Hope that things can be better. Hope that the future is still wide open, waiting for me. Hope that healing isn't just possible, it's already happening. I've had moments where I thought the darkness would never lift, where I couldn't see a way forward, but something inside me, something brave, always kept believing. I'm holding on to that. Hope doesn't erase pain, but it gives me something to look for when the road gets hard. I'm taking my story, every chapter, every scar, every moment I thought would break me, but didn't. I'm not ashamed of what I've been through. My story isn't just about the pain, it's about the survival, the rebuilding, the growth. My story is a reminder that I didn't give up, that I kept showing up, even when I didn't feel strong, and now I carried it with pride. I'm taking my lessons. Every hard conversation, every broken friendship, every boundary I had to enforce taught me something. I've learned how to say no. I've learned how to listen to my gut. I've learned how to tell the difference between people who care and who only want control. I've learned what it means to truly love and protect myself. And those lessons, they'll guide me through whatever comes next. I'm taking my boundaries, firm, healthy, unnecessary boundaries, the kind that protect my energy, my heart, and my peace. I used to feel guilty for setting limits. Now I see it as an act of self respect. I deserve relationships that are mutual, not one sided. I deserve to feel safe, and I'll no longer tolerate anything that makes me shrink or hide who I am. I'm taking everything I fought to rebuild my confidence, my self worth, my belief that I matter. I lost those things once, but I worked hard to find them again, and now that I have, I'm never letting them go. What I'm taking with me into this next chapter is a better, stronger version of myself. A version that knows pain but doesn't live in it. A version that knows joy and chooses it when it comes. A version that can look back and say, I made it through. And as I take this step forward, I'm doing it with courage in my heart and peace in my soul. Chapter 108. College Dorm Life and Academic Strategies. Moving into the college dorms from August to December 2025 was not what I thought it would be. At first, I imagined it would just be a place to live, study, and rest. But it came with challenges. One thing I really hated was when one of the other residents kept knocking on my door asking for tools. I don't even own any tools, so why ask me? It made me annoyed every time. Then, when the first day of classes began, something happened in the dorm halls that really bothered me. Someone decided to ride a scooter through the building, speeding down the halls like it was a playground. They almost ran into me and a few other people. That was not okay at all. I went to the RA and reported it, and thankfully, that person got in trouble. Another thing that puzzled me was how some people act toward me. For some reason, a few people thought I was scary. Scary? For what? I wasn't doing anything wrong. It made no sense, and it was frustrating that people could just make up ideas about me. Things got worse after activities in the dorm. When I would go downstairs to talk to my friends, people sometimes spread lies about me. One time, they accused me of tossing marshmallows, which I never did. It was just a ridiculous lie. I got so irritated because people falsely accused of silly things is unfair. Why would anyone waste time making up things like that? On top of all this, something crazy happened in my academic strategies class on September 3rd, 2025. My classmates, my friends, and I were getting settled, ready for the professor to start class. Out of nowhere, one girl slammed the door hard when she came in. She pretended like she didn't hear anyone telling her to stop. Then she came back, opened the door again, and this time she started throwing things around the classroom. She even grabbed the teacher's dry erase markers and started scrambling all over the whiteboard. I was so puzzled and honestly a little scared. My friend and I didn't just sit there, we told the professor what was going on. The professor handed it and told her that she owed everyone an apology. But instead of saying sorry, she ignored it and switched the subject like nothing happened. That was completely unacceptable. I'm just glad the professor took control, and I hope something like that never happens again. Looking back, my dorm life in that class showed me how unpredictable college can be. Some days it feels normal, but then little things happen, people being careless, rude, or just plain unfair. That reminded me I'll have to stand up for myself, even though it's frustrating. I'm learning how to deal with it one step at a time, though I despise UST for that reason. Chapter 109, sorry. Chapter 109, My Reflection of 2025. 2025 was one of the hardest years of my life. January. On New Year's Day, 3 people made a live stream of me and 2 of my friends without our permission. That was cyberbullying. I told one of them to stop lying, but they said no. When I came back to school after winter break and tried to explain everything to my counselors and principals, they didn't believe me. That hurt a lot. February. At the food bank, I was talking with one of my friends when 2 students came up to me. They claim I rewrote the same student council speeches, which wasn't true. My speeches were different. They said this in front of the whole school, even though we were in a public place. One of them also tried to told me to shut up because of my opinion about Owl City's Learn How to Surf from Kokomoon. That was rude and disrespectful. It felt like they were putting on a show, like they didn't think my voice mattered. But my voice does matter. March, 2 girls talked about me behind my back, even after I apologized. One of them, Emily, made jokes about my past behavior like it was funny. She is 19 and has been snitching on me and my friends in a group chat. Just because we told the truth about how she was bullying us, she also makes noises in class that I can't handle and says side comments like I'm a joke. April. People kept honking in front of my house and speeding off, scaring my neighbors. That's not funny. Also, Emily and her friend were seen talking to middle school girls outside of school, which felt weird and inappropriate. In class, some students bragged loudly, saying things like, "Yes, we're so smart," and made me feel bad. They distracted me so much that it became hard to focus on even one subject. May. I felt stressed because of 2 girls, Alex V and Emily. On May 17th, I told my counselor that Alex kept sending me non-stop messages and videos online. When I said it was too much, she got upset. One of the videos she sent really scared me and hurt my feelings. It made me feel like my boundaries didn't matter. Then on May 24th, after school ended, Emily's mom messaged me asking if I could text Emily about her graduation party. When I did, Emily started blowing up my phone, begging me to come, even though I clearly told her I was on a work trip and house sitting. She ignored everything I said. I blocked her to protect my peace, but then other people, even her mom, pressured me to unblock her. It made me feel like nobody cared about my feelings or respected my boundaries. My mental health really took a hit. June, I went back to camp, but not as a camper, CIT, or counselor. I was just there to work for 1 week, June 8th to 15th. It felt different. I didn't get off the camp bus like before. I got out of a car with no name tag and no group to lead. I wasn't I wasn't staff. It was just helping for a short time. When people asked how long I was staying, I had to say just 1 week. That was tough because deep down I wanted to stay longer. Camp always meant a lot to me. The people, the songs, the feeling of belonging, even though being back still matter. It doesn't feel the same for me. July. My sister and my mom bought me a new computer at the Apple store, but my grandmother kept saying I should be going to a public college instead. I'm going to a private college because I was bullied at public school for being different. She also kept saying I don't need a laptop, but I actually do for my 2 year practical studies program. She told my family they wasted their money. Her comments felt disrespectful and hurtful. August. I had to sleep on my uncomfortable couch, and I didn't like it at all. Then my grandmother called me a liar and said she didn't like me and never cared about me. That was hurtful and awful to hear. September. On Labor Day, I overslept until 9 a.m., which made my heart hurt. The whole month felt full of unfair moments. Instead of focusing on classes, meeting new people, and adjusting to college, I had to defend myself from things I never did. It made the month feel heavy, but I learned how important it is to stay calm, speak clearly, and not let false accusations control me. Even though September was tough, I handled myself with respect, and that's something I'm proud of. October. On October 6, 2025, London, a student in a red shirt, chased me across the rooftop all the way to the gym while recording me. This all happened just because I was waiting for the whole white moon to turn orange so I could see the harvest moon. That was bullying, and nobody helped me. I talked to my professor and my mom about it. On October 7th, people were being dramatic and yelling about a movie which hurt my ears. They said they shouldn't watch Meet the Robinsons, which I watched at the last movie night. On October 8th, I told my professor and my mom again about being bullied. They said they would report it to Student Affairs. London even called me creepy, even though he was the one acting creepy. I hate when people say, I'm not acting like an adult. I am. I'm just dealing with a lot of stress and commotions, and it's too much. I also hate UST because of that. November. On November 1st, 2025, people complained to the RA about me just for singing songs I love. They also falsely accused me of banging on the walls, which I wasn't doing. I was cleaning my room so I could be ready for 2026. It felt awkward and weird. Another reason on why I hate UST. Which December, the professor of the primatics program at UST got fired, which I'm happy about. My sister started aggravating me again. I hope 2026 will be a better and more peaceful year, especially when I go to another college and decide to do Spanish instead of computer science.